Welcome to my channel, and today we discuss about the top 10 unsolved mysteries. Why did it have to happen this way? Let's get started. Number 1. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. It's undoubtedly one of the most mystifying events of the 21st century. The disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. In the early hours of March 8, 2014, the plane departed Kuala Lumpur and maintained a normal flight path for about 40 minutes. Then somewhere over the South China Sea it disappeared from air traffic control radar from data gathered afterwards. The plane seems to have turned sharply south, circled northwest, and finally crashed into the ocean. Explanations have ranged from decompression to hijacking. Malaysian police named pilot Captain Zahari Ahmed Shah as a prime suspect, but the world may never know what really happened. Number 2. The disappearance of Madeleine McCann. This is one of the most famous missing cases of the new millennium. It's especially remarkable that it remains unsolved. In 2007, 3-year-old Madeleine McCann was on vacation with her family in Portugal while her parents had dinner at a nearby restaurant. She and her brothers slept in the family villa, with their mother frequently stopping by to check on them. Madeleine's parents say there is still no evidence that she's been harmed. In the absence of that, they have real hope that their daughter is alive and will one day be reunited with them. At 10 p.m. she discovered that the boys were still there, but Madeleine was gone. Number 3. Fast radio bursts from outer space. Fast radio bursts, or FRBs, have been detected by astronomers since 2007. They are short but tremendous bursts of radio waves that can release more energy in a millisecond than our sun does in 80 years. It used to be a one-off. There'd just be this burst, and then you'd never see it again, and so that made it even more mysterious. Because they are so powerful, scientists originally assumed that FRBs must be caused by some cataclysmic event like a stellar flare or stars colliding. In 2016, astronomers began seeing something new: fast radio bursts that occurred repeatedly, some in irregular and others in regular ways, where they are as 500 million light-years away. Scientists still aren't sure what's causing these, although they have theorized that magnetars, neutron stars with powerful magnetic fields, are responsible. Number 4. The Max Headroom hijackings. On November 22 in 1987, the broadcast of 2 Chicago TV stations was interrupted. Both interruptions featured an unidentified man dressed as the British AI character Max Headroom quarters. Finally, the masked man disparaged the local station he was interrupting, made several pop culture references, and got spanked by a fly swatter. The heavily distorted audio, rotating background, and masked men gave the hijackings an eerie, almost David Lynchian feel. My brother. The hijackers couldn't be identified, nor did they come forward after the statute of limitations on their crime expired. Number 5. Siberian sinkholes. In Siberia, huge sinkholes began to suddenly appear in 2013. Scientists were startled and baffled by the unprecedented event. There's over 7,000 of them that have been identified in Siberia, and over 400 of them are looked at as being in imminent danger of eruption. Good news, though, none of them are near a city or a town. Investigators have tried to discover what could be causing the phenomenon, measuring gases and flying drones into the craters to build 3D models. Eventually, scientists realized that the sinkholes were being formed by thawing ice and permafrost, which releases methane gas and softens the Earth's surface. Number 6. Salish sea feet. Since 2007, residents of Washington, USA and British Columbia, Canada have found some rather morbid jetsam washed up on their beaches. Detached human feet, most of them were found still inside shoes. Now you also have to consider whether or not this could be a serial killer, somebody who right now is underneath the radar. But physical anthropologists cautioned that while the spate of discoveries was new and most of the identified victims were involved in accidents or took their own lives, it's been speculated that the feet detached as the bodies decayed and that the air pockets and buoyant foam and sneakers floated them to the surface. Number 7. Roman jars in a Brazilian bay. The historical consensus is that the first European visitors to Brazil were Portuguese who arrived in 1500 AD. However, it is possible that the Romans beat them to it. In 1976, several amphorae or Roman jars were uncovered from the bottom of Guanabara Bay off the coast of Rio de Janeiro. This caught the attention of archaeologist and treasure hunter Robert Marks, who explored the area further and claimed to have found up to 200 more M4E. Experts dated fragments to around the 3rd century. However, the idea that Romans arrived before the Portuguese deeply upset many. Number 8. Oakville blobs. In 1994, Oakville, Washington experienced perhaps the strangest weather phenomenon of the last few decades. It rained blobs. Strange goo fell from the sky over a period of several weeks, blanketing the town in ooze, and it made people sick. What's even more bizarre is that The residents experienced a widespread illness that lasted for several weeks too. So what could this goo have been? It evaporated bits of jellyfish that reformed in a cloud, or maybe waste from an airplane. The most troubling theory is that the event was a military experiment on U.S. soil. Number 9. The Jetlav Pass Incident. In 1959, 9 Russian hikers were found dead in the Ural Mountains. All were severely injured, several were undressed, and they had cut their way out of their tent from the inside. Some were burned, and others slightly radioactive. Most seem to have died of hypothermia or their injuries. The case has baffled the public and authorities for over half a century. Theories include an avalanche and animal attack, but it seems to show mysterious lights in the sky. The most plausible theory involves the group camping against a heavy snowbank. Number 10. Birds falling from the sky. In September of 2020, thousands of dead birds fell from the skies over southwestern states. In the US, all were migratory species like warblers and swallows, many in a state of near starvation. Naturalists speculated that the birds' flight paths might have been disrupted by the severe wildfires in western states that year, forcing the birds to cross deserts where their usual food supplies vanished. Severe weather has caused birds to die off in groups in Spain in 2021, with hundreds of dead starlings falling into vehicles and pedestrians in Faro. Hope you enjoy this video. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so that you will be notified all of new videos.